Agency officer Mike Tapp. Welcome to the show. First of all, we're hearing tentative reports this morning, although from Kremlin sources, that some Russian troops may be leaving the Ukrainian border. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's interesting, given that they've been there for many months now. But firstly, I think we need to just make it clear that there are no exercises going on here. There may be some drills, but this isn't an exercise. This is a show of aggression from Vladimir Putin. But what this slight drawback might indicate is that the Russians are willing to take diplomacy seriously at this last moment, as we've seen indicated from Moscow. And that's obviously good timing, given that we have Macron, the Germans and the Americans pushing hard at this last minute for a diplomatic solution, which is obviously very important to ensure that people aren't killed.
It is interesting how much the West in general, if we can use that term, has been visiting Russia, whether it's Macron, whether it's the German Chancellor, whether it's our Foreign Secretary, our Defence Secretary, and various phone calls between our Prime Minister and Vladimir Putin as well, and a phone call between our Prime Minister and Joe Biden last night. I wonder, though, there'll be some who say that this kind of diplomacy, that potentially offering concessions to the Russians in response to a show of force, is exactly the wrong thing to do. It's saying that all you need to do if you're a demagogue or dictator around the world is pile up 100,000 plus troops on the border of a neighbouring country, threaten to invade, and then the Western community will give you what you want. Are we in danger of doing that?
Precisely. And we have to look at what Putin is in this for. He's an ex-KGB man. He's calculated, and he'll be looking at either a full Ukrainian occupation, maybe a land corridor into Crimea, NATO concessions, or implementing the Russian interpretation of the Minsk agreement. And if we do give these concessions, then what's next? Are Estonia fair game, and does he start moving on to NATO? So it is important that we stand firm, and we must consider the Ukrainians' point of view on this, especially when it comes to the Minsk agreement.